Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here today with another episode of Shield Hero Season 2. So anyways, not too much to recap. Last episode, we were just kind of going through the motions, going through the entire spiel of people not wanting to work together, but finally starting to work together and all that. And I do believe in this episode, we are going to see the first real confrontation between the human armies and the spirit tortoise and its familiars, right? So they have a plan in place. Will it work or not? Well, let's just get into it and find out. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh, that's that's. I'm sorry. That's sick. All right. Come on, I can't be the only one to laugh at that, right? It kind of reminds me of Tensura, like back in I can't quite remember, like season 1 when they suddenly had that dragon thingy. Wait, weren't you guys actually in the front lines last episode? Nah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yureru Tate. Hmm? Man, they're certainly posturing a lot, aren't they? I thought we've been done with the posturing in the last 2 episodes. Alright, alright. You guys aren't exactly very disciplined, are you? Alright, alright. It's a morale boost. I get it. I get it. By the way, the stats of that thing that she has on, I think it's like entirely defense based, so not too much on the offense side. At least that's what it showed in the last episode when I rewatched it. All right. I have to say, honestly, I'm not too impressed by the pacing of the episode so far. And I don't just mean the fact that, they're not progressing. I'm not exactly the kind that needs action all the time, but when you show specific scenes and specific characters and whatnot, it's supposed to serve a specific purpose. Like, for instance, when we saw that scene there with the troops moving out, right? Initially, like, typically when you draw that kind of scene, right, either in cinematography or in anime, it's to exhibit some specific kind of feeling or invoke a certain kind of emotion, right? Like you could concentrate on the soldiers being very apprehensive, being very frightened by the prospect. You could also concentrate on their discipline or how their commitment and determination. Like when I was watching that scene, originally what I was thinking was, oh, it looks like they are very, very well trained. They are very well disciplined. You can see their training and all that. But yet, like one scene later, we have Naofumi, going along, and then all of these soldiers breaking ranks and cheering along. So that theory also kind of got thrown out the window. So, anyways, just some minor nitpicks. Anyways. Oh, taunt. Alright, double line formation. Doesn't that prolong the line though? Ah, never mind. That CGI turtle. Oh my god. Now this would be a great time to have Melty here. With AoE magic and whatnot. By the way, why is she able to go against, like, since she's a familiar of the Spirit Tortoise, why can she directly counteract against the Spirit Tortoise's wishes? I mean, I would venture a guess and say like maybe some part of subconscious of the Spirit Tortoise wants to be stopped, wants to be taken down or something. Huh. Looks like its skin isn't as thick as I was originally expected.
止まらず、工場兵器による攻撃も効果なし。ですが工場部隊は一歩も引かず、なおも攻撃を続行中。
右前足に攻撃を集中させろ。せめて一本だけでも打ち崩す。
What about on its head or on its eyes? Ooh.
工場部隊の損耗5割を超えましてにごじゃる。
城塞の方は
すでに準備を完了し、爆破部隊は退避。霊気国司令官閣下、ただお一人が残られました。
Somebody has to light the bombs, I guess.
慌てるな霊気よ。今一度眠りにつかせてやる。
別動の影より進行。城塞の爆破により霊気の進行は停止。霊気国司令官閣下は崩れゆく城塞と運命を共にされたでごじゃる。
そうか。
Alright. Then what?
これであとは首を切り落とすだけだが。
さすがにわしでも無理ですじゃ。あの門下生二人が我が変幻無双流を完璧に体得してさえおれば、あるいは
どうされました？いえ、この作戦が始まる直前に女王陛下が
Alright, and then here we have the culmination of, you know, the the slideshow that we saw last episode, where these two were out looking at the record. So, as expected, Yuusha is going to she's going to prove her worth in ways other than just through pure skills and battles and fighting capability. Soft underbelly?
霊気の足元にはあのトゲが落ちていない。自らがトゲの被害に遭わないようにだろう。
しかし兵の被害が。
この辺り一帯は全て奴の射程に捉えられている。陣容が崩れた今の状態で退けば確実に殲滅されるぞ。盾の勇者殿に続け。突撃に前へ。
霊気は動きを封じられてもなお甲羅からトゲのようなものを発射し、我が方へ攻撃を仕掛けています。被害甚大。報告します。残存兵力は盾の勇者様の指示により霊気へ向け突撃を敢行。
Oh, poor foot soldiers. That's a praying mantis lion insect question mark? That's it? Hmm? Oh, damn. You're still here? Mm. Oh, there we go. Beheaded. That's it? Why do I somehow feel like there's a catch to all of this? Well, I mean, the sun's coming out, so I guess it's over. This. Am I the only one who feels very, very puzzled by these last 3 episodes? Not puzzled as in, you know, what they're doing, but puzzled as into, like, the decisions in terms of the framings and the key scenes. Oh, she's still here.
あ、そう、そうですね。どうやら霊気はまだ倒されていないようです。
Is that you? Well, I mean, that's what I was saying, right? It can't be over just like that. That would be, like, way too anticlimactic in so many different ways. Alright, I'll see you guys after this. Well, alright guys, so that was the 3rd episode, and as O said at the very end, you know, we are not quite done yet. The Spirit Tortoise has not been slain, or maybe there's another twist, maybe Ost is the Spirit Tortoise, or something like that. We'll have to see. But anyways, I think it's a good thing that the Spirit Tortoise wasn't slain yet, because so far this has been very, very anticlimactic. And right, before we go on, like, I just gotta say something first, right? I have never minced words when it came to this series, or in really all my other reactions as well. When I, you know, part of the spiel of my channel, I call it Musings of Maverick, is I have this musings section. So I do try to add some review and some back and forth discussion, if you will, in terms of what happens within the episode or within the anime series as a whole. And certainly for Shield Hero, I gave plenty of criticism to it back in season 1. Some people did not like the criticism, but, you know, I still stand by what I say. And so far, like, what I have to say so far is, for these 3 episodes, is just, it's been mediocre, alright? I'll just come out and say it's been very, very mediocre. And I'm not even talking about the animation or the use of CGI. Like, obviously the CGI of the Spiritus was ridiculous. I've seen way better, and there's way better ways to do it, but that's not what I'm focusing on right now. I'm relatively okay with that. I'm not the kind of purist where, you know, you must have hand-drawn everything, or you know, you are a disgrace to anime and whatnot. No, I enjoy plenty of pure CGI anime as well. It's just that my main problem with these past 2 episodes, you know, 3 really, but especially for these past 2 episodes, is that the storyboarding for it has just been completely awful. What do I mean by that? Story building, when I'm talking about story building, it's in sort of like what scenes you want to show. Like in cinematography, you have a script, right? And then the director needs to make a decision, like what angle does he want to shoot a specific scene in? Does he want to linger on a specific scene? What emotions, what story does this specific scene try to tell, right? And that's the same in anime as well. When you decide to animate a particular scene, you know, there's certain emotions or a certain story you want to convey within that limited time period. You know, even within the entire episode, which is like 20 something minutes long, it's made out of these specific scenes, right? Like with each scene maybe being a few minutes, a couple minutes long. And in that case, there's something that they want to show within these sequences or during these key frames. And I made a mention to this right at the very beginning of this episode. Like, they made this entire big thing about, you know, everybody being solemn and whatnot, and then just them writing out, okay, they're looking at it under, they're trying to, we obviously understand this is a grave situation, right? But that we really need to have that particular scene to once again reiterate that point. We already know this is a matter of life and death for these people. I mean, kingdoms have already been, one of the kingdoms has already been practically destroyed by the Spirit Tortoise. We don't really need to have a reiteration of, hey, this is a very important day, an important situation. And even if you really want to sort of try and give out that sort of a sort of like choking atmosphere here, where even the air feels heavy and whatnot, then you really need to extend that feeling a lot more. And you don't just build up that kind of feeling within like 3 seconds of scenery or whatnot. You need time to really percolate that sort of atmosphere outwards. Or for instance, in that scene where the kingdom soldiers were sounding off and marching off, right? We see them all organized and whatnot, preparing for battle, in formation, and so on and so forth. And like that's what I was saying within the episode, right? When I look at that scene, my instant reaction is, okay, it seems that maybe they're trying to show us like the coordination, the discipline, how well trained these soldiers are, right? We see them responding to orders instantly. They're very crisp in their movements and whatnot. So they seem to be highly trained, right? But then you need to actually carry that throughout, because like I said, in the very next scene, we see now if we be going out, and then we see all the infantry like cheering and breaking formations and whatnot. And sure, you could argue that that's trying to exemplify like just what the shield hero represents, and it's another hell yeah moment for the shield hero, right? If you are a big supporter of him, but I do feel like that's sort of to the detriment of what they were trying to build. Like, consider this: if instead, considering like how the entire episode was structured, think about it like this: in the beginning of the battle scene, we see them marching off. We see how well disciplined they are. They are very highly trained. They respond to orders very well. And then suddenly, when they actually get to the battlefield and they start engaging the spirituals, all hell breaks loose. Like even when we see them, they look almighty and strong and disciplined and whatnot. And yet, at the first contact with the enemy, their ranks are completely broken. Their spirits are broken, and they fall into like this situation of hopelessness and despair, right? And indeed, I feel like that's what the anime was trying to convey in the latter half of the episode, right? We see them getting being whipped left and right. We see them we see a lot of deaths on the battlefield and whatnot. But I really don't feel like they really carry this entire feeling throughout. So in the latter half, when we do see that kind of scene, I don't know, at least to me, I was kind of meh about the entire situation. Like, even if you want to show the chaos and the despair and the hopelessness of the battlefield, you don't just show it by showing a few deaths on screen and just end it like that. We need more to go on, right? You can't just make people believe or feel a certain kind of feeling or get that certain kind of emotion just by looking at those sparse scenes throughout. Like, even the king, one of the commanders, his heroic sacrifice, it didn't really seem like much because we didn't really have any chance to understand like their struggles and their battles. Like, how more epic would it be if we got to see them, like how they, all the work that they did, how many sacrifices they made just to be able to plant all those charges, and the commander, like, even though his legs are broken, he's bleeding all over the place, and one last act of defiance, he hits the button, and with the cost of his lives and probably many of the other sappers' lives, they finally managed to stop the rampaging spirituals at that moment, buying some valuable time for the rest of the forces. Like, I mean, I'm not expecting every single battle scene or whatnot to be like an epic, right? I understand not everything is Lord of the Rings, okay? Not everything is Star Wars or whatnot, but still, if you are trying to structure this particular episode in that kind of sense, because we can clearly see that they are trying to invoke these kinds of feelings, you gotta do more than that. I'm sorry, that's just the simple truth here. So, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the storyboarding decisions, they kind of like they're like, let's put some of this, let's put some of that, but it never really sticks here, right? And then you just get this very weird pacing of things throughout. And again, nobody really feels like very urgent. And we see even Naofumi and company, they're just like standing around and saying, hey, we should probably get to doing that particular thing that we need to do. And then, come on guys, let's go. It's just... You don't really see the desperation or even though they try to invoke these feelings, and I think that's what they were trying to convey with a lot of the focus, like on the focus on the soldiers, or that particular red-haired soldier, and when he was running around, this focus on the mages and how after they spent all their mana putting out that one big hit, how relieved they were, right? Like, we didn't even, they made this entire thing about, okay, the mages can only do this once, right? So why not make it so after they finally finish their incantation, and then we see all of them like basically collapsed right there on the field, and maybe even having to we see them completely vulnerable, completely out of it. There's no way that they can fight in like at least half a day or something like that, right? And then later on we see them like celebrating, like they're even struggling to stand, and so on and so forth. There's just so many simple things, so many little details they could have done to make this episode, and indeed make this entire arc, way more enjoyable, and I feel like they just didn't do any of it. So I know, it just kind of feels like a rant, but I feel like, especially with Shield Hero being such a highly anticipated, and indeed, I do believe it's probably the most anticipated anime of this particular season, I just feel like it's really letting down a lot of viewers. Maybe I am alone in my thinking here. Certainly, I was quite alone in my thinking back in season 1 when I criticized some of the actions, or some of the pacing or flow of the anime. But here, I don't know, man. You guys can, but this is. No, like I said, this is a discussion. This is my musings. This is my sort of review and my thoughts on the situation. Let me know what you guys think about these particular scenes. Like, maybe they just didn't have enough time, question mark. Maybe they just want to get this particular arc or get this particular story over with so that we can move to more fun stuff. Or maybe they want to focus all their efforts on later arcs and later stories. Okay, fine. If that is the case, then maybe it's justifiable. We know the limitations of the anime medium, right? Some things do need to be cut out, some things do need to be simplified, but what I'm talking about here really doesn't have anything to do with simplifying. You can fit all of what I just said within this episode as well. It just requires you to really think this particular episode through, think the storyboarding of this episode through, and think about what you're really trying to convey through each scene and whether you really succeeded in conveying that. So, anyways, this review has been going on for like over 10 minutes already, so I don't really want to continue to harp on the situation. In any case, I don't know what else to say at this point, right? I mean, next episode we'll see like what exactly this entire situation is. Do we need to fight another spirit tortoise, like, or a core or something, like somewhere? Maybe its true body lays somewhere else. Is the spirit tortoise just actually Ost herself, or something else? I don't know. We'll see in the next episode. But hopefully the pacing issues, the storyboarding issues do not continue into the future episodes. Otherwise, I gotta say, it is not particularly being enjoyable right now, and if I'm being honest, I would rather watch something else. Alright, that is it for Shield Hero Season 2, Episode 3. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully with some more entertaining events happening. So, until next time, bye-bye.